Well, good morning, everybody. I hope that you had a nice night and you got a lot of sleep in for today because there's going to be more content, more lessons, and more learning. Okay, so let's come in, and this won't take very long because I want you to have a lot of opportunities to get outside today because it's such a gorgeous day. Okay. Close the door and be quick about it so as not to let any bugs in. Is everyone in? You need to get in quickly in the spring and the summertime, okay? So do not dilly-dally while getting in here because I do not want to have to hold the door open too long. Because I want to get through it and I don't want to let bugs in. Okay, so you know the drill. If you have anything, then go upstairs, put it in the closet, and then we'll go into the sunroom, okay? Doesn't look like you all have much, but you have a couple of things, so let's take care of it. Okay, forward into the room. Okay, these are the chairs that you selected last time. Okay, so you're just gonna sit in those chairs for today. All right, so those are your permanent chairs until the end of this. Now, if any of you need any more supplies, any new supplies, like any new papers or any new pencils or anything like that, as you can see over on the table, I also have some glue sticks and some scissors over there, okay, for today. And I also have 4 worksheets. What's going to happen is you're going to grab yourself 1 glue stick, 1 scissors, and 1 of each of those 4 worksheets. Okay? So that's what I want from you, okay? So I want you to do that, please. And any other supplies that you think that you might need. Okay, so any new pencils or, all the stuff that I said earlier. Alright, now, if you didn't do it already, now's your time to go to the restroom, get a drink, or go in the kitchen, get a snack, or a drink, okay? Because it's getting close to 10, and that's this is mid-morning right now, okay? Now, as you can see, I've opened the windows to provide fresh air, and I'll turn on the fan when everyone's in here and, set up and comfortable, okay? So, now's your time to do that, okay? And I'm going to grab a couple of other things that we're going to need for today. Okay, everybody. Alright, so welcome to day 2. I put a check mark next to day 1. Now, can somebody tell me what we learned about yesterday? Yes, Phil. Exactly. Okay, yeah, we learned about geometric line figures. We learned about, all those things we looked at never-ending line from right to left and, line segments and line beginnings and endings and all those things. And what else do we look at? Someone else. Josh. Exactly. Yes, right angles and shapes. Wonderful. You have a lot of good memory. So we looked at how all the sides need to be the same straightness, the same shape, and also, if you didn't add this into your notes already, the same angle. Okay, the same angle. Okay, that's, what I probably forgot to tell you about it. So the same angle of, the horizontal and the vertical sides and the, the little box. Okay, so when you're taking notes today, if you don't have that in, I want you to add that in. As I can see, all of you are very, really responsible and reliable to get yourselves new pieces of paper, and for those, I'm very, very impressed that you have your notebooks open, okay? And raise your hand if you made page 2 today. have you made page 2 in your notebooks? For those of you? Wonderful. Alright. Okay. And for those of you, I would not throw away. I would keep, okay, keep track of so that you can keep refer back to, and as a little, educational memento from this experience that you have your notes. Okay, all those pieces of paper, do not get rid of them. Keep them. Okay, I will really recommend that you do that. Okay, so you all have, I hope that you all have all 4 of those worksheets, that you have 1 copy of each worksheet. You all have that. Okay, what I want you to do right now is I want you to just put your name on it. Okay, just put your name on it. And, it doesn't have to be first and last, just, because there's not a single person here that, that has, there's not 2 people that have, the same names. So just put your first name. Okay? So do that, please. Now, I was explaining and I was talking and describing quite a bit yesterday, because when we were looking at geometric lines, there was a lot of ways to look at it. Okay, and so I might do that. I might not explain things enough. I might over-explain. I might, forget to say certain things, whatever it is. But your effort, your pulling weight, and your attention, your focus, and your education is at stake here. Now, we're going to flip the board over and see what we have going for us today. What do we have? Day 2. Day 2. Today is June 11th. What do we have? Alright. We have number charts, factor trees, story problems. Okay, those are the 3 things that we're going to be doing today. And then day 3 is place value and solving big numbers. So being able to read numbers. Read and solve big numbers is day 3. Okay, but day 2, number charts, story problems, and factor trees. We're going to begin with the story problems, then we're going to get to the number charts, which is going to be really, really easy, and you're going to see the pattern with that. It's going to be neat. And then factor trees, which are going to be kind of fun and a nice, easy thing to end off on today. Alright? And then tomorrow is June 12th, also known as Johnny Depp's birthday, and we're going to go on with the day 3 plans. We're going to begin with some story problems. Okay, we're going to start with the story problems. And what's going to happen is I'm not going to be writing the story problems up on the board, but I will write the equations up on the board here. So let me get here, let's see. I'm good. Just have to get that straight. Let me think. Okay. So, what I want you to do now is, here is my directions for you. Okay? I want you to take, here. Okay. Yeah. So, directions. What I want you to do is with the glue stick and with the scissors that you have, I want you to, and, oh yeah, I think I covered it. So, all of your names should be on there, okay, so that, I know whose paper it is, and I can keep track. I want you to, first of all, cut, here. So what I want you to do is open your notebooks if you haven't already, and I would recommend that for the people who only got 1 sheet of paper, that they get a second sheet of paper to use on the front, back, because there's 4 sheets in total. So that would mean that that you would need to use 2 pieces of paper because paper has a front and a back. I use math though, I think. So one side gets 1 piece of paper, the other side of the paper gets another sheet. And the same for the second sheet of paper. So all of you haven't got a second sheet of paper yet, I want you to do that, okay, because you'll need it. Now what I want you to do is, I want you, on each of the sheets of paper, what I want you to do is, now I told you to put your name on it. But, actually, you will not be needing that, because what's going to happen is you're going to glue this into either your notebook or on your on your sheets of paper, on the front or the back. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to be cutting around. For all of the 4 sheets. So this is the addition one. All of the 4 sheets, you are going to be cutting around this light blue line. So one that looks like this. So see that little blue line around around the edges, around where it has the story problems, and then your option boxes. So this blue, it's a light blue exterior, okay? I want you to cut around there, okay? I want your scissors to go directly, as straightly and precisely, and accurately as you can on that blue, on those blue edges. I don't want you to cut into it. And then the excess is going to be scraps, and you can just throw away in the trash can, of which I have it over in the corner over there. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing. Throw away your scraps when you're done cutting it out. Okay? So after you've cut it out, I want you to take the glue stick and then glue like the back of the paper, and then and these glue sticks are Elmer's glue sticks, which you can see. And Elmer's, it doesn't smell the best, and it gets messy. Elmer's glue stick is kind of like a disgusting type thing. It is messy, and and if you want to, then, you can go into the kitchen and wash your hands, if it gets on your fingers and everything. Stickiness or, messiness on my fingers is like one of my pet peeves. I just don't like it. So, you can take care of that, but, the thing about Elmer's is that it sticks really, really well to the paper, okay? So, you're going to put the Elmer's glue on the back of the paper, not on the front, because it won't be a sticky surface, and plus, you won't be gluing the front side of the paper, like the work side of the paper, I want to say, to your piece of paper. Okay, you're gluing the back side of it. Putting glue on it, sticking it on there. Okay? So, what you're going to be doing, on the top of your lined sheet of paper, or your regular scratch paper, both in your notebooks and as a single sheet, you're going to be putting on the top, addition word problems, okay? So what's going to happen is there's going to be 4, either in your notebook, there's going to be 4 pages, okay? And and on, if you have single sheets of paper, there's going to be, two pieces of paper. One's on the front side of it, one's on the back side of it, and then the other paper, one's on the front, one's on the back. On the top of it, you're going to be putting, one of it is going to be addition word problems, the other's going to be subtraction word problems, multiplication word problems, and division word problems. And you need to match up with the title, and I would preferably do this before you put it in there. So have the title of it, and then match up with the title on the sheet. So if you put on the top of your paper, addition word problems, find the addition word problems sheet, okay, and then put it on there, okay. Now, actually, what's going to happen is, when you cut, you're going to be cutting the name part off of it. The name and then this little question mark symbol here. But, in order to tell, what page you put your paper on based on the title, which you're going to title all of those prior or afterward, you put them on, matching up. Okay, you're going to be leaving the Easy Addition Word Problems Math Worksheet 1. So you're going to leave this corner on there, okay, so that you're able to tell. Okay, that you're able to tell. You're going to leave it on there, cut out the question mark, and the, and your name. But everything else, except also for the sides, is going to remain on there. Okay? So, do I make myself perfectly clear of what I'm saying? Okay. Wonderful. And you're going to be doing this for all of the different sheets of paper. Okay? So, do all that now. Okay, now that you have done that, we're not going to begin immediately with this, but we're going to, actually what I want you to do is I want you to put, your paper, your papers or your notebooks, I want you to shut your notebooks and, take your paper down. Because we're going to get introduced to story problems. Story problems are made in math, to make it more interesting, for those who want with literature, it kind of combines, that fun and interesting, story with the actual numbers and, math terminology and everything. And also, because a lot of these, and another thing is, math is a skill that you will somehow use at certain points in your daily life. Okay, so, that's why they do story problems, different situations, different, different objects, different numbers. So, that's why they do these things. So, I'm going to put, the little symbols across the, across the board here so that you can see. So you obviously know, how to solve, basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division problems. Now I'm just going to go over real quickly what these symbols mean, and then what words in story problems concerning all of these, will you be able to tell these operations in a story problem. And it already gives you the answer when it, gives the title of the page, addition word problems. So you're going to see those words that I'm going to talk about. So, addition means to add, subtraction means to subtract, multiply, means the times, and then, with the x and everything, divide, the divide signs, divide. So, adding is going up and getting bigger in numbers. Okay, so adding, bigger numbers. So bigger numbers. Subtraction, and this is part of what math. This is like the cornerstone of math right here, because you use these symbols almost everywhere. Maybe except for what we did yesterday, but but you use these symbols pretty much everywhere, so they're incredibly versatile and common. So bigger numbers. Subtraction, if we're subtracting, we're getting smaller. So smaller numbers. And you can write this down in your notes, if you want to write the symbols, and then your colon, and then and you're writing down, so getting bigger, or getting smaller for subtraction, or you can write down increasing or decreasing, or increasing or decreasing in numbers. So multiplication is, I want to use the word super bigger numbers. So super bigger numbers, you can put super increasing. And then division is middle nor numbers. So actually put middle. Okay, those three words: middle nor smaller numbers. Middle nor smaller numbers. Okay, or middle nor decrease. Okay, and the reason why is because division is backwards multiplication. You're taking a number in the problem and then an answer and what's in between those. So that's why I say middle, okay, and then nor smaller. It's getting smaller, but it's more middle numbers. So addition and multiplication, they are linked, and subtraction and division are linked. And there's two ways that they are linked. Addition and multiplication are linked by, subtraction and division are linked. They're all linked in the similarity of the shape of those symbols. So the addition symbol looks like this, okay, with a little plus sign, and then the multiplication looks like an X. It is a sideways or diagonal plus. We looked at that diamond the other day. It's a sideways or diagonal square. So if you just either look at the addition sign sideways, then it looks like a multiplication sign, and if you look at the multiplication sign sideways, it looks like an addition sideways. And they're both increasing. One increases a little bit, another increases even more. Okay, and then subtraction and division are linked. So if I had to go astrological with these, addition and addition and multiplication, because of the positive increase, because increasing is usually positive. Subtraction, addition would be fire, and multiplication would be air. Well, actually, I'm going to switch them around. Addition is air, and then multiplication is fire, and then subtraction is earth, and division is water. Now going on to the next two. So the subtraction and the division. Well, if you look at it, here's the subtraction sign right here, and all you're doing is you're putting a dot above and below that. And also, because they're both decreasing, the answer is a result in a smaller number, in a negative. So this is a positive sign. We're going to get into anecdotes, sometime. This is a positive sign, right here. And this is a negative. So positive, I'm just going to refer to as going up, like a positive increase. When they say positive increase, like a good getting bigger. And then a negative decrease, a bad getting smaller or dropping, going down. Addition is rising and going up, or also called ascending. Okay? So that's what I want you to look at it there. And then subtraction is descending. Okay, so there's a lot of words for it. Okay? So now we're going to look at words for all of these. Okay? Words for all of these that you would find in story problems. So for addition, when you know that it is, an addition equation, it has the words total, in, all, or average, or all together. Those are a couple of things. Let me see if there's any others. In all. Okay, yeah. Okay, so these are all these are probably not all of them, but these are just the most common, just a few that I could think of the telltale key words that would tell you that it is an addition problem. So total, the total is like that tells us that we're adding, that we're getting bigger in total, which is another word for in all, the answer with you adding two or more things together. In all, so adding it up, obviously, okay, in average, that big number after adding everything up, in all kind of thing, average, all together, all of it together added up into one answer. Okay, so that is, I'm trying to see if I can, okay, so it is. So, my writing was a little bit big there, so let me just erase these and then do it again. Okay, so subtraction. You know that there is going to be subtraction in a word problem, that it is in a subtraction equation if there is the words left, more, and is there any others? Let's see here, let me see here. Okay. Yeah, okay, so left and more are the two words. Left and more. Okay, so obviously if we're finding out what is left over, then we would obviously be subtracting, because if you think about it, adding it up, it just wouldn't make sense. So, or remaining, what is remaining? And then more. Now, you might be wondering, more with subtraction, more is, an increase, which would be addition. But, comparing two together and finding out how much, more someone has, it has to be, a subtraction. Okay? And that's hard to explain. This is not, easy to explain. I think that you will see and understand once we, do these problems, okay? So, now we're going to move on to multiplication. Let's do multiplication. So, one word for multiplication is times, which, as you know, is, what we're doing when we're multiplying. We're timesing. Okay, 6 times 8, for example. Okay, so, let's see if there's any other word for that I can think of. Let's see here. So, and how many is just, let's see. Oh, okay. So, total. So, what addition and, multiplication have in common is they both have total in them. Adding it up. The answer is a bigger number, and the subtraction and the division is a smaller number. Okay, so timesing, how many times, like double adding, and then, like, increase in the adding, like, you're already adding, big number, even bigger number. And then, total. Okay, so then, for division, let's see here. Well, the key word for division is divided. So, divided, or share. So if you're talking about, oh, I don't know, it's kind of the in-between number. So, the situations for this can talk about, how much does, people get, or, how many seats in a row, or, something along those lines. As I said again, this is not easy to explain to you just in general. You will see it when we look here. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you about here. Okay, so I'm going to erase this to save room for all of the equations, but I'm just going to be so we've gone over that already. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our very, very first problem, and I might call on you to read it, at certain times. So let's start with, let me get these in order here. And also, you will need a calculator, and I think that the multiplication chart will be really, really helpful for you as well. Okay, so, just to kind of speed things up, unless you want to do it the long and hard way, then, then you can, write everything out.